Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting, exciting, endearing, all of the above episode of Nat20Hot.
Throat goat.
On a special night, a Tuesday night, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. As always, I am giving thanks to all of you for tuning in. And if you are joining us for the first time, we are a bunch of friends who like to play Dungeons and Dragons together. We've been doing this for almost a year now, which is crazy. And if you don't know why we're doing this, we're doing it for fun, but we're also doing it for the children. So if you find it in your hearts this holiday season, do take a look at the link in our chat because we are raising money for Extra Life, which all contributions go towards children's hospitals in your area, helping children get the medical care that they so need. All of your donations are, of course, tax deductible and go a long way towards helping people in your area. We are quite close to our $1,000 goal for the year. So do, if you have the ability, find it in your hearts and your pockets to give to those in need. Now, we have a very special episode planned for us tonight because we find ourselves in a time of calm for perhaps the first time in 30 sessions, which is very endearing and exciting for our compatriots. Um, and specifically, the last time out, our party rebounded from a dangerous start to their adventure in Conway's Ferry. Reunited with allies Elray and Lyra, Branwen and Dunk rescued themselves from their cult captors and raced off in defense of Willem and Laserhawk, who were causing problems of their own. Willem, desperate to prevent Sigmund's ritual, did everything in his not inconsiderable power to distract, obfuscate, otherwise preclude Sigmund from reaching the diamond, or worse, the celestite that they had acquired from Katadin and the focal point of the mysterious ritual. Elsewhere, Laserhawk was doing the very same in an effort to keep Willem from killing Sigmund, attempting to deliver on his end of the bargain with the hag Lady Talia. And by the time the cavalry arrived in the form of the rest of the party and Elray and Lyra and some cultists they picked up along the way, it was wholly chaotic. A well placed fireball from Elray and the party at full force managed to clear the balcony of cultists and finally free Cena, who ultimately was the one who dealt the killing blow to the cult zealot Sigmund. Peace, however, was not to be, as the shadowy forces looming over the party for months finally played their hand, pulling on the strings of Sina like one would a marionette, possessing her and promising her and the party an ill fate should they continue to interfere. But interfere they did, dutifully managing to distract and ward off Sina long enough for some divine intervention as the party welcomed back Randy, who appeared in a burst of white light to purge Cena of her otherworldly patron and put an end to the would-be crisis. For now. Having made good on his bargain, Laserhawk was reunited with Buster, his long-lost childhood dog and crossbow namesake, before bidding farewell to the party, as I realized it did not update his Chiron, and we are playing with Randy, not Laserhawk tonight. Um, and with all the chaos that subdued, the party collected themselves and their loot and stepped through a waiting portal conjured by Elray into the warm embrace of the Marigold estate that they had left behind those many weeks ago. And during that time, 2 weeks has passed. Our party has leveled up, now level 8. Exciting. And they are going to walk us through some of the things that they did over the past 2 weeks. But before we get there, that is where we find ourselves as the first light of dawn of the new day creeps over the horizon. All of you kind of begin to hear the house below you begin to stir. And despite the closed windows, the air is quite crisp, nipping at your skin as you kind of tug the blanket of your bed over your shoulder. Over the past 2 weeks since the events of Conway's Ferry, you've gotten quite used to sleeping in a bed, an otherwise rare privilege. Which of you is getting up first?
Randy.
Randy, as you are among the first awake, you've kind of already started to make your way downstairs. You find a couple of the folks of your various house guests at the moment already awake. As you kind of make your way down the stairs and turn around the bend, you see Scott and Dinky chatting quietly over coffee in the small nook of the kitchen. And kind of through the window, you can spy Cena's kind of stark white hair kind of framed against the auburn hue of the autumn forest.
Uh, you guys want breakfast?
Hey, sure, mate. Cheers. That sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely. Is are there eggs around?
There are eggs, so you can attempt to fry up some eggs if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna make like 20 eggs.
Okay. Um, so I will, since we have historically made Willem roll, I will have you make a general survival check to see how good you are at making eggs.
13.
Okay. There's some crispiness around the edges. How are you preparing these eggs?
Um, scramblies.
So you've got a kind of small clay bowl that you're whipping up some of the eggs in. Scott and Dinky kind of continue their conversation. You notice that Dinky's definitely the more active and conversationalist. He's asking you about your adventures and kind of the events of the past 2 weeks, whereas Scott kind of just monitors, sips his tea, and quips in every now and then just to stay engaged in the conversation. While you're doing this, Branwen, you hear kind of the beginnings of the kind of rapping against the bowl from downstairs, and you kind of pull yourself out of bed, your eyes passing over this kind of faded sigil circle in the corner of your bedroom. Still a work in progress, but this looming presence in your mind since Elray first showed you upon your return.
S- Sorry, what?
Don't worry about it. You're not there. Um, I'll probably stare at it for a good 5 whole minutes before uh I get out of bed and start probably packing up a whole bunch of papers into a bag to go off to continue working.
Okay. What have you been up to the past 2 weeks?
I have been hanging out with Elray and Lyra a lot, making a drug roll Pepe Sylvia board because um Branwen's not very good at sitting around and having nothing to do. So she's convinced that this whole business with she, the purple dot herself, is not over.
Okay. You kind of collect your many papers and kind of shove them hastily into your canvas bag, ludicrously capricious though it is, and make your way downstairs as Randy is kind of on the stovetop, working away at some eggs. Willem, the past 2 weeks have been quite kind to you, sleeping for years in the forest's cold embrace and nights of restless, nightmare taunted sleep, seemingly in the past. As you kind of hear Branwen's footsteps outside as she descends down the steps, and you kind of look over and you see your newly enchanted flame tongue sword kind of returned to you by Tormund as it kind of perched neatly beside your bed that has been helping you cast the required spells to rid yourself of these hag dreams. How are you starting the day?
Um, I'm gonna start the day probably. I just a conceptual question. Like, since we've been gone, have the people who've been here have they like spruced it up a bit and made it kind of nice? It's still a little bit rustic, but it's homey.
They really dedicated most of their time to the downstairs where their quarters are. So you remember
Okay.
the first time you were ever in the Marigold Estate, unfortunately, your memory is of finding a lot of bodies in this room, where it's
Yep.
kind of like communal quarters, and they've been kind enough to reserve the upstairs bedrooms for you for. In your particular room, there are still remnants that you haven't decided what to do with of Harvey Marigold's, now deceased children. that are kind of like the room feels a bit stuck in time.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys
Wait,
not? You
wait,
guys
wait.
remember that,
Wait,
right?
We didn't clean the
I
room of
very
his
much
children's
remember that.
remains.
wait, there's still just bodies here?
No, there are no bodies. You cleaned up the bodies.
Also,
That's
the children did
absolutely
not
what it
die in the
sounded like.
mansion. I think
The
when he
children
said
did not
remains, he
die.
meant remains of their possessions.
Yes, memories, remnants of their existence. You know, prior to his departure, that Marigold kind of clued Willem into the fact that his children did not survive childhood, and him and his also late wife really never got around to updating their rooms. He felt like they were moments in time that he wanted to preserve.
Do I still have the evil doll of Bastion with me?
You do not.
Oh, bummer. That was going to go on a shelf for sure. Anyway, Willem, kind of disheveled looking, is going to go downstairs and do a big stretch and yawn and say, "Boy, I sure am glad nothing bad is ever going to happen to any of us ever again."
Last but not least, Dunk. You awake feeling quite a bit restless. Unlike the others, you've really never been used to these conditions, having spent really all but a few nights sleeping in tents and lean-tos with Borgin. And as you kind of lift yourself up from the bed, which you've even kind of pulled the mattress onto the floor, so you can be closer to the floor as opposed to on the wooden frame of the bed. His final words to you kind of linger in your mind as you kind of think about the past few days' events, and every time you rage, kind of feeling that feeling of anxiety within you, and you wonder if he's made any progress exploring your opportunity for a cure.
Yeah.
How are you starting the day?
I'm gonna walk downstairs, and as I pass by the room where we previously found all the bodies, I'm gonna I'm gonna give a little look in there and just say, "Morning, Zomboy." And I'm gonna walk into the kitchen and I'm gonna take a look at those eggs. See how the eggs are doing.
By this point, Randy, you have largely finished cooking for the day, and they are pretty well done eggs. Like they are, good texture, and some parts are a little bit crisper, but all in all, a very good job.
I'm gonna reach into
So
my
in the
fingers
kitchen
and
now, you
kind of grab
have
a little
all
bit
your group.
of eggs.
Nice. So the four of you have reunited downstairs in the kitchen. Scott and Dinky are kind of standing up from the table to afford you space to sit, and will kind of lean against the counter and have a bowl for themselves as well.
I take the pan of eggs and I get out a bunch of plates and put out a plate for each of us and give half of what's there onto a plate for Dunk, and then I split up the other ones between us three and also Dinky and also Scott.
Scott,
Yeah.
indeed.
Cena can just go fuck herself.
Oh, Cena's there too. Yeah, I give Cena some eggs too.
Tina's outside being wistful.
Yeah.
You know how women are.
Both start with
Right.
W.
Yeah. Is there fantasy coffee there? Because Brandon is heavily caffeinated at this point.
Yes, there is indeed coffee that you can make for yourself. Um, Anything in particular you're discussing? Perhaps any activities you'd like to take on for the day?
Does Branwyn look haggard?
She's well rested, but she's especially in comparison to what you all have been looking like over the past couple of weeks, prior to your respite here at the estate. But she definitely looks like she's probably been pulling some later nights in
Okay.
her studies and research.
Willem is just gonna sort of like tug on her shirt sleeve for a second and be like, "Branwyn, have you been trancing your normal amount? You seem a little like jittery."
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's like 3.5 hours, right?
Nobody knows what you're up to, right?
Oh, I mean, you know that I'm probably just like I'm researching just the crap out of Olari and anything related to planar travel.
Okay, fair enough.
Um, yeah, it probably seems really weird because Branwen has never presented herself as the studious type before, because she's
Yeah.
not.
I'm
Why
just gonna.
haven't you asked me about planar travel? I'm the one who's been to the most planes.
I'm glaring at
He's
Brandon.
not wrong.
I
I feel
pour
like okay.
Brandon a very large cup of coffee and give it to her.
I mean, you can tell me about what do you know that I probably wouldn't already know? Just that you've been there. That doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, that sounded really mean. I just woke up.
no, it's all good. That's look, yeah, just take the coffee. Um, no, I
I mean, if
mean,
you happen to know anything about winged beings, that'd be cool. But
Chris, do I know anything about winged beings?
You do not. Like, I mean, outside of birds and bats and normal manner of critter, you're not familiar with any winged creatures. Um, and like yeah, you know about as much as they do.
There are
Have you
birds and bats.
have you translated that celestial book yet?
The what?
no,
Branwen has a
not
journal that's
yet.
in celestial. Okay, this
Oh,
that
No,
was
that's on my
Nolan
to-do
saying that
list.
Willow.
again, I can read that.
What did you say
Yeah.
that?
Oh, maybe I probably didn't say it, to be honest. I might have forgotten.
Elroy's been
Has
trying to bring in some guy from like Canada, somewhere really far away. Do you guys have a Canada here?
I will say for the rest of you, not Branwen, you are consciously aware of the fact that Elray has been coming by the house every day since you returned from Conway's Ferry. Um, Obviously, he interacts with you all, but obviously spends most of his time with Branwen. And sometimes they head on up to her room for hours on end.
Yeah, you want me to
Fun.
read that thing or
Well, yeah. Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
it's been
has
2 weeks and
Randy
we
changed a
haven't
lot since
talked at
he's
all
come
about
back?
it.
Yeah, Randy, why don't you describe what you've been up to for the past 2 weeks for the group?
Sure. I have been uh like in character or just me describing what you guys have
You
seen me do.
describing, yeah, what you've been seeing,
Okay.
what they've been seeing.
I have been spending a lot of time in the homestead talking to pretty much everyone who lives here and getting to know all of our pals that we've brought here. I've been spending a lot of time lost time with Cena, not really like talking to her too much, just kind of being around her. I have been following all of you to random like businesses that you do, just to kind
With
of
her
see
knowledge?
too. Yeah. Just like
Okay.
accompanying you. And I'm just kind of scrumping around. Although, like, I definitely would have. I feel like they would have asked me if I could read Celestial or something, and I would have definitely mentioned it at some point in those 2 weeks.
Okay. That would make sense, I think.
Sure.
Especially with how
So
much I've been messaging Chris about this question and this question.
to be perfectly honest, the journals never came up in those questions. But for those of you who don't
No, I
recall,
just assumed they were.
a few weeks ago, while the party was in the Watham Wood ruins, they did uncover a collection of journals that were written in a language that they did not understand. Elray, however, identified them as being written in Celestial. Um, and it has been revealed over the past 2 weeks that after Randy's gallivanting on the astral plane, and for I don't know how much details you have shared, Randy, but you have revealed that you are capable of reading Celestial now. And over the 2 weeks, you kind of spend some time in the books and reading a bit more about them, and specifically, you find essentially that they are a collection of journals written over the course of almost a century, in the hand and pen of Alari, who identifies herself as a servant of the gods, but not much else outside of like kind of a servant of the gods, but also a servant of the people that she stewards. She mentions the word stewardship quite a bit. Um, she identifies the place that they built their initial foundling, kind of essentially describing what you now know to be those Wathamwood Wood ruins. Describes kind of a collection of motley souls of all manner of creature and quote beast that have kind of gathered together, and she calls it a privilege to be their steward. They describe a lot of ancient magic that derails their early efforts. However, as you kind of scan through the books, you find that inevitably they create a rather robust society together. And inevitably, as you kind of make a investigation check to discern like what you're able to discern as you read through the books, Randy.
I give him inspiration,
What does that give me?
extra D8.
That's good. 9.
Extra
Um,
D8,
I rolled a
bro.
5.
Through the books, you can kind of get the sense that while there are all manner of creature and beast here, much of the population is made up of Eladrin, um, and you know them to be the same race as Branwen. The final book culminates with a story leading up to a particular festival, one of lights and laughter, where they kind of celebrate their first 100 years of settlement and describe the path to a new foundation, where some early groups of this settlement will go off and found their own cities, taking the lessons that she has bestowed upon them. But that she will remain here, given the burden of guardianship that she must uphold.
Just because I never wrote this down from the very first session that we had. This plane was like the Elandrin and Fae people are generally considered like the ancestors
Yes.
of the people here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Can we say
too
that?
long don't read. Um, these journals document the starting of a civilization in the Wathamwood Wood over the course of 100 years under the stewardship of Alari. She talks a lot about guardianship and being a steward of the gods, and inevitably, after 100 years, they host a festival, and on that festival, they send contingents of the society off to found their own settlements. But she must remain here over steward for her for her role of upholding the guardianship. Um,
So I spent part of my 2 weeks reading all this stuff.
yes.
Can I read it out loud to
Yeah,
Branwen and whoever
I'll
else would
say that
like to
you.
listen,
I'll say you
like a
share
story
these
time?
details, and I apologize because I forgot the final entry. Um, where you also, in the final book, which is shorter and doesn't have as many of its pages filled, it is written after much time has passed, under which, she's been with still a few people living with her, but not as many. And she says she thanks the gods that she gave up her immortality for a life with these people. Um, and she prepares for the next beyond.
So these are Ilari's journals, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Spooky.
I know she sounds awesome. Sounds like a really chill person to be around.
Christopher, I have no idea what's going on. Ah, Um, has Cena given us any information about #she?
He
Hashtag
has
girl
not.
power.
You have not heard anything about girl power. You know that Cena has kind of actively, not actively, but avoided you. Like
Yeah,
she's
that
there,
sounds
she's
right.
present, but she hasn't really spent much time with any of you except Randy. And she kind of tends to go off on her own without really straying far from the property. And you know that like right now she's kind of sitting out on the on the deck.
Um, while we are retconning things that have happened in the last 2 weeks, can Branwyn, would you allow Randy to assist you in your web, or is that a you thing?
I mean, you can. I've gotten a lot of the information out already. already.
Okay. Well, he's just mostly
But
just going to be like
you can have
standing there and
been
like
there.
observing. Um, hold on, hold on. I got a name.
Got a name?
Oh, I forgot who it is. Fuck.
Are you hoping to remember something I told you?
Yes.
What?
Um,
How we got
Adara
a
told
secret
me to
sport?
find somebody, but I forgot who it was.
I accidentally I wrote Randy really fast, and it looks like I wrote Ranchy.
Range.
Yeah.
That's when Randy puts on a cowboy hat.
Yeah, yeehaw.
Ranchy.
I don't remember telling you to find anybody.
Okay, you guys can keep going. I might come back to this.
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, who?
Yes.
Who? I'm an owl.
Do you need me to tell you?
Yes. I'm looking through our
Um,
chats right now. I can't find it. Oh,
she told.
found it. Um, throughout the 2 weeks, I'm just gonna like just say things every once in a while, like, "Oh yeah, Hans and Daedi wasn't shit." Yeah, no, Adara told me that like there's a lot more going on.
Like what?
I don't know. You shouldn't tell me. She like told me some things, but like clearly wasn't really like into telling me other things. So I don't know. She
So,
kind
like, what did she tell you?
of she
Real
said to
quick,
find
just to
this.
go ahead.
She told me to find this dude, uh, or woman, and I've already lost the name. Oh, Thalariel.
Fariel.
Thariel.
Thario?
I like the
Yes.
idea of Adara just being like that guy on Instagram who posts shit like #big things coming with prayer hands, but doesn't give you any more information.
Yeah,
Yes, I'd like for it to be abundantly clear that over the past 2 weeks, Randy has been telling all of you that he spoke frequently with
yeah,
one of the prime deities of your realm.
yeah. Dara's like she talked to me a lot. Yeah, we had some really good conversations. She's really nice.
Did she say like who Thariel is?
No, no.
Is Thariel in Trowood?
Ah, I don't know.
Chris, have
Um,
I heard that
Ariel
name
on the
before?
yeah,
street.
all of you can make a history check if you'd like.
Oh boy.
I would like to please.
Randy definitely would not remember, and that's why I'm not
Oh.
mentioning the second part of that message,
And
Chris.
I am going to give myself inspiration because this is something that already happened.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a waste or not, Steph, but I got a 18 on my history check.
I
Yes.
also
So I don't
got
know if that's a
18.
waste.
Willem, you remember
I got
quite well
20. And me.
that Thar and Bramwin, both of you recall quite well, since you were both in the store when it happened, that Thariel is the essentially fantasy Santa Claus that
Oh, God, okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't
Zoltar
write down the name.
um, requested you seek out for the missing pages as the official and known author of the Etheric Compendium, a book that has been passed down in his family, and he seeks the missing pages for to understand its mysteries. Um, and that is why you were originally given the planar amulet.
Oops.
So
Oops,
she's in the.
indeed.
So they're probably in the
When
Feywild, huh?
when Randy tells her this, Brandon's just gonna full face down on the desk for a solid 10 minutes.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, we'll find her. We gotta. It'll be fine.
Do you
I don't know.
You
do you still have that planar amulet?
Oh yeah, no, I destroyed that.
insight check.
Just like while we're talking
Brandon.
about it, whatever happened to Hans and Daedi?
Oh yeah. Well, we went to a tower. And in the tower we met some cool guys that were clearly enslaved, not paid very well, and they didn't get many benefits either. And the place was filled with robots, and there was a bunch of stuff that happened. We kind of walked around a bit. There's a robot who really liked soup. And then we went to another room, and I found an orb, and I tried to take the orb. And there's a woman in the orb. Crazy, right? And this man named Draken Voss, the most powerful man maybe ever to exist. I don't know. This guy was crazy.
Hold up. Sir? You said Draken Voss?
Yeah. He was actually a pretty friendly guy. He liked me a lot.
Brandon's gonna face down on the desk for another 10 minutes.
Okay,
You know that guy
well,
cursed Dunk.
Yeah.
cursed Dunk?
You know that guy's killing Dunk. Sorry.
No.
Is there anything? Did he like say anything about me or about?
Yeah, he just asked how you were doing.
Well, that's nice of him.
Well, not like in a nice way though.
Oh.
It was more in like a how's his curse doing? And I said, I don't know anything about a curse. I thought that's just how you were, man. I didn't know. But
And you said he's really powerful?
yeah, no, he like everyone was afraid of him, but I don't really know why, because he seemed like a cool dude. I guess he cursed you though, so maybe not a cool guy after all. But yeah, so he asked me if I wanted to like what I wanted to do, and I just didn't want to be there, I just kind of wanted to walk around for a while. So he sent me to some other plane, and Hansen Deity is his forever slave now, because that seemed appropriate for him.
So
Really quick interjection,
Hansen
just
Deity
because
and
Branwen and Dunk and Willem would
go on.
remember. In the book journal that you found of Draken Voss, he didn't explicitly curse Dunk. It was an affliction upon him, as he tried to pull him back to the Fey plane. That imbued him with the wild magic, not specifically a curse. He just took interest in it, his affliction.
But it's not a disease, right?
It's a effect, we'll call it.
Okay. So like 1 to 10 scale in terms of like potential to fuck things up and also be antagonistic, where would you put Draken?
I think he just froze.
Oh no.
Oh.
I thought that everybody was frozen because
I
we
did
were
Me
all
too.
so
Yeah.
still.
Antlers.
Oh.
Come in, antlers.
Antlers.
I feel like I just keep hearing curse words coming out.
Yeah.
Chris,
It's
look how many
crazy.
notes I've already taken.
Wow.
Oh man. Little beans. Hmm. I think
Oh,
Willem just passed out.
He just had a stroke for a little while.
We're playing through all of his clips.
No! He died.
There
Oh,
we
he's
go.
bad.
hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
you're back.
Yeah. Okay.
Repeat
where
the question.
Oh, my question was like Draken Voss 1 to 10 scale in terms of like badness potential. Re us. Where's he at?
He did not seem like a cool guy, but he likes me.
But does he actually like you, or is it the sort of lacking that an anime villain does?
I don't follow.
Where he's like, "Oh, I like you. I'll be keeping an eye on you," type thing. But he
Where
doesn't
he's like,
actually like you.
Beauty boy.
Oh,
Yeah, like
probably.
that.
Yeah, I mean, probably that. But um, he got rid of Hans and Daedi, so that's good. And he did let the other two guys that I was with go, and he said that they could leave whenever they wanted, and they did. So he can't be all bad. I think I would put it on a 6 or 7. I think he can be talked to. He seems like a reasonable man,
Okay.
fey creature.
I was a little bit concerned, but I'm less concerned now.
That's good. Yeah. And then after that, I went to the astral plane. And wait, what was that? Is that the astral plane? Is that where I was? Okay. And then I went to the astral plane and walked for I don't know how long and talked to my god, and it was fucking awesome, honestly. But now I'm back, and it's cool. And that's what happened.
The crazy
Missed
amount
on
of time
Glee.
you were gone. Wow.
So anyway, we have to do something about this whole situation. That's kind of why I'm back at all.
About
situation.
the Thariel situation?
Well, the whole world's gonna end. Like
Oh,
everything's in
what?
horrible,
Excuse
horrible
me?
crisis. Yeah. No, like things are really bad.
Oh, that sucks.
Ugh. In
Adara
what
told
way?
me
Please
that
be specific.
well, Adara was not very specific. She was just kind of like, "Why the fuck did you leave?" Except she said it like super nicely because that's just how she is. And then was very concerned for this whole world, and then sent me back. And also, so I'm here to like, kind of like save everything, and I feel like I should probably get started on that, right? And she told you the only thing that she really told me was find Thal or the Yal. So I feel like that's where maybe we should start.
You really are the Randy Christ superstar, huh?
What is that a reference to?
Oh, just you know how superstar, like you're super cool and
Well,
a
that's
star.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
Christ, I think that was the name of a thief we killed one time.
That's right.
I forgot. Yeah, I don't know how I'm like him at all, but absolutely, I'm Randy Christ
Well, he
superstar.
like sacrificed himself for the greater good, and in a way, he kind of saved us.
Yeah, I'd rather not sacrifice if I can. I
Yeah,
think you know,
you've been through a lot. That's
um,
fair.
but
What
we
did
should.
Alari mean, or not? What did Adara mean by "why'd you leave"?
What do you mean?
I
Could you
think
have
she
come
meant
back earlier?
Oh, I was there for a while.
Could you have come back earlier?
Like in this time, I have no
Never
idea.
mind.
I don't know. I have no idea. Time's weird there.
Did you decide
well.
to come back, or did it just kind of?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
you're here now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And
Sorry
we're
for
gonna
leaving.
save the world, apparently.
Yeah. But don't worry, guys. Like I'll help us out. Don't worry. And also, no pressure. You don't have to come with, but you should, because I like you a lot.
Oh,
Well, shucks, I like you too, and I feel like I should probably help with the world saving thing because I'm all about like justice now.
Yeah, man. I'm really happy for you that you found your guy.
Yeah, I'm still uncomfortable with the whole being indebted to somebody for my powers thing, but he, among the people to be indebted to, seems pretty cool.
Yeah. And a debt
Cooler
is
than a
just
hag, that's for sure.
a what?
Cooler than a hag?
Speaking of,
oh, does Randy know
we
about that?
have. Speaking of hags, we have Ophelia. We have
Talia.
Talia. The
And
hot
there's a
mom.
third one.
Who's the third one?
Yeah, we don't know.
We have to find the third one. Or
Oh,
we don't.
by
Well,
the
there is
way,
a third one.
Randy, just to like fill you in. So, you know how I have my weird antlers? I'm a hag touched creature.
Oh,
And yeah, I was having weird dreams. I think I might have told everybody about that. I told Branwen, but she was no help at all. And then yeah, I kept having weird dreams, and they were like, "Come to this grove in Conway's Ferry." And I went to the grove, and
you went
yeah,
to the grove.
and we found one in a creepy house on the way to Conway's Ferry, and they look hot, but they're not, and they're very evil, and they are sucking life force out of other people and making all sorts of deals. And they wanted me to join them and become a hag, and I said no. And then now they're mad at me and coming after me.
That sucks that you're from Hags, man.
I mean, yeah, but none of us have control over the circumstances of our birth.
You're so right. Except for me when I was
That's
rebirthed.
for Mewtwo. You keep quoting him, man.
I didn't do the full quote. I thought the abbreviated one would be fine. Sorry, you chose to be reborn like this?
Well,
I mean, it's a good look and everything.
planar travel and being, I call it being reborn because that's really what it feels like. By the way, my beard is like super long. My hair is like really like well kempt. I don't think I mentioned this before. I have like the white instead of the red and black, and I'm like more muscular now.
Oh,
That's according to Chris. Chris did that one.
Yes,
He got heaven ripped.
he did. As you all are kind of sitting there chatting, and about an hour and a half has passed as you've kind of been recapping, and Bryman has spent some time with her head on the table. You hear like a brief conversation outside, like the sound of Cena's voice, and then another woman's voice as the door opens, and Eliana enters with kind of a trio of rabbits roped around, like kind of slung over her shoulder. And she goes, "Oh, you're all up. I got us dinner for later."
Thank you very much,
Gotcha.
Ileana. You're
Yeah.
a
thanks, Liliana.
wonderful
You're really, really
help.
helpful.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it as well. Probably nobody
It's-
appreciates it as much as Branwen, though.
I wave awkwardly.
She does not wave back. She kind of nods and smiles. She goes,
It's so awkward.
"Yeah," and she heads into the kind of the space off of the kitchen where she starts to kind of trim and start to butcher the rabbits.
I put my head back down on the table.
Willem's gonna
Branwen,
poke you and be like, "When are you gonna tell her how you feel?"
Oh, I think I should leave right now.
You
I'll
can't
send
run
support to me
forever.
fast.
Do
Oh, I
any of
can
you would
try.
any of you like to do anything in particular today?
I'm
I would love to go shopping for some plate armor.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna hang around here,
Oh, I
and I'm
need to
going
go
to
shop.
pull out a children's learning to read book.
Oh, yeah!
That's
I'm gonna
right.
learn how to read.
Let's go.
Nice. So Dunk is going to spend his day learning how to read. Branwen and Willem, it sounds like you'll be going into town to do some shopping. Randy, what would you like to do?
I will also go into town to. Well, I guess there's firewood here, huh?
Yes.
Um, what time is it?
Early morning, 8.
I got time. I'll go into town with them.
Okay.
Before we leave, are we having a rager tonight or like soon?
I'm sorry, what?
I think that would be
Are we
appropriate.
having a rager, like a big party?
Um, have we planned to have a big? I mean, I guess we could.
I mean, I feel like we just got some bad news, so it sort of puts a damper on things, like the world is in danger, but I think it would be nice to celebrate our victories, such as
I
they are.
mean, I feel like I'd probably be a downer during the whole thing, but I could certainly get drunk.
Yeah, there's no way you
Eliana
could
kind of
possibly be more of a downer.
We could
Eliana
pick up a
pokes her head out
cab.
from around the corner and goes, "Did someone say party?"
Yeah, thinking about it.
That could be fun.
Oh, are you good at parties?
I mean, I used to I would kind of plan some of the things that we would do at Borgen's camp.
She was in a
Oh,
band.
don't let her be modest. Not me.
Dunk.
I don't. I
It
don't
could
know.
be
Maybe
I
you
fun.
don't remember, but I remember you going pretty hard.
Well, Eliana, if you'd like to help plan or even take over responsibility, I have no experience with such a thing being an orphan child, but
I mean, yeah, if you guys are going into town, I could just drop a quick list of things that you could get, and I
yeah,
can I can work with Dinky and Scott on putting some things together.
I feel like Dinky's also good at planning parties.
You hear a voice from kind of around the corner. He goes, "All right."
Oh, Dinky.
Hey, Dinky,
Yeah, we'll take a list.
Can I take RJ into town today?
I think he's getting a little bit big to go into town. Might try to scare people. He's almost a fully grown cave bear now.
Yeah,
You
but
could see him out
he's
right there
great.
through the window. Not that trained.
All right, that's fair.
So you
Yeah, we'll
all
take a
or
list. I only know what we'd have at like Feywild parties, and I'm pretty sure most of those substances don't exist here.
well, if you let me know what they are, maybe I could try to make something similar.
I could ask Gwen because she works at a potion shop and she might know some stuff about some stuff.
I
There's
want
a
it to
lot of
feel like home
really
for you.
weird psychedelics. God.
Oh, did we ever give Willem his present that he was supposed to give to Gwen?
Yeah.
I don't think you have.
Wait,
Yeah, I
no,
take out
that was.
I think it was like a compendium, it's like an herbalist compendium, and it
Mhm.
had like pressed flowers in there or something.
And it is very
It's way
nicely
too nice
wrapped.
for something Willem would never give. And
Mm-hmm,
something Willem would
yeah.
never think of himself to give. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
hmm
you thought yourself to ask us to get it, to ask us to
I
look.
know where my strengths are and are not.
It's a really nice book.
hmm
Yeah, so you
Willem
can
is
give this to Gwen or whatever.
once again gonna pull Branwen aside and just be like, "Listen, if you need some help setting stuff up, I'm happy to be your wingman, such as it is."
What do you mean setting stuff up?
Well, you like her, don't you? He likes you. She
See, the problem is I'm in a very bad place mentally.
Yeah, well, That's not going to change anytime soon. And she's here. She's now. She likes you. You know, you're not getting any younger. I say go for it.
I'm not getting
Maybe,
older either.
maybe it would cheer you up. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know, something
Don't answer
terrible
that,
happening
actually.
to either of us in the courses of our lives are forever changed by tragedy.
Yeah, well, forget about that. Just put a pin in that. All I'm saying is, if
Oh,
you want
man.
help, I can help.
Oh, I'll think about it maybe. I
Cool.
don't know, man.
Have you tried
feel like
throwing
it's-
knives in front of her? Women love that.
See, the thing is, I'm almost scared that it might be the situation where she might like me more than I like her.
Oh, well, do you like her? We could talk about this on the way to
Oh
town also.
God, let's go.
Sure. So I will say that Eliana prepares you all a list and has just a handful of food supplies that you don't already have, a kind of bread, cheese, and like an assortment of pastries. She also recommends a keg of ale from What Ails You, and then also recommends a general store where you can find a good amount of citrus, because she has some plans for the citrus, and those are kind of the things that she requested that you go and get. Um, but
I will be
Willem, if
keeper
you
of the
are
list.
okay, Randy's going to keep the list. Willem, if you would like to procure some half plate, you can go to the. I don't know what that means. You can go to
Oh
the
God, if Brandon was
Forlorn.
on meds, they wouldn't be working.
You
Oh
can go to
no.
the Forlorn Anvil, and that's the blacksmith in town. And then Brandon, what are you shopping for?
I am gonna go to. I want to go see Zoltar.
Okay,
Oh,
and
I'm for sure following.
as you all are leaving, I presume you take
Donk, are you sure you don't want to
Dunks.
come?
Um, I'll tag along. I can read in between.
You
Do
can
you have
practice. You can
do you have
practice.
flashcards?
I've got my little learner book.
We can help you sound it out.
So you all walk and
Uh-oh.
talk, but as you leave, what's up?
God, oh God.
There's a dog.
Dog.
No, Doug.
As you leave, you hear a familiar voice. Oh, I didn't realize you'd be leaving this early. As Elray is walking down the dirt path towards the estate. He goes, um, Branwen, did you want to meet now or later?
I think Brandon may be otherwise occupied at the moment.
Indeed.
Wait, what? Sorry.
Elray arrives as you are walking
Oh,
out.
shit. Sorry, my dog is trudging dice.
It's okay.
Not for puppy.
Don't eat dice, dog.
Just a second.
Oh, those are
Okay.
in there, huh?
Yeah, wait. Sorry. No, I got it out, I think. Sorry, what?
Elray arrives as you all are leaving and says, Ah, Branwen, I didn't realize you'd be leaving this early. This is the earliest I've seen you up in 2 weeks.
Uh,
I presume we can meet later.
yeah, I can stop by, or else they can go on ahead because we've got a lot of shopping to do. Um,
Well, why
I
don't
can
you
catch
go
up.
off into town and I'll work on our project and then I'll see you here later.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Oh,
left your room unlocked, I presume?
yeah. Um, we're throwing the Rager later if you want to come.
Goodness. Um, I wouldn't miss it.
We're gonna have drunk Ellery. It's gonna be great.
He gives you a nod as you part ways and head into town. The morning is quite crisp, probably kind of giving you a familiar sense as though when you were in the mountains, with a chill in the air, and you can kind of see your breath pooling up. Dunk, especially as you kind of hold your book up and walk. I see green leaves. And you see the breath kind of billow in between your mouth and the book. But the streets are a bit busier than you recall them prior to departing for Conway's Ferry all those weeks ago. You do see like all manner of kind of merchants and kind of reasonable level of activity return to the streets. And you get the sense that people are traveling or beginning to at least take to the road again after what was really months of anxiety, having heard about your exploits in Conway's Ferry. You even see a couple of people kind of giving you a polite nod as you walk past, and you kind of get this almost air of respect in town as you progress deeper into the city. Um, where are you all headed to first?
Book. Sorry. This was my favorite book at Evans.
Great book.
It's such a
Dunk is
good book.
Dunk is learning to read from a book of weapons. I love it.
It's such a good book. Oh god. Okay. Wait, sorry. Where did you ask where our first stop is?
Yes.
Yeah, in addition to stopping by and getting all the stuff on Eliana's list, we should probably think of who we actually want to invite to our party, right?
Um, who do we know?
I stop the first person I see on the street.
Well, we can't just
There
invite
it's
randos.
Oh,
it's a kind of short-haired brunette woman, bit older, like in her late 40s, carrying a basket of apples. She's kind of like walking down the street towards the market. Uh, she kind of looks up at you, given how tall you're. Can I help you, son?
Yeah, and we're the same age. Um, but
But to a
get
to a Goliath, you are still
yeah.
kind of middle. Yeah.
We're gonna have a party tonight at the Marigold Estate. You should super come.
Party, did you
Whoa.
say?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what's the
You can.
occasion?
The occasion is that we have prevented a rift from opening.
Oh, you're the people who killed the Colt in Conway's Ferry. You say a rift?
Well, I
I
guess
just
Randy
heard.
wouldn't know that, huh?
You kind of have a
I
sense
mean, we
as
probably
you
would
all
have
have
had
kind
to
of
tell
talked about.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we stopped the great she from coming. A very evil woman creature thing.
I mean, something normally that you shouldn't stop, but in this case, we had to.
That's wacky.
that should be
Well,
way
all
longer
right.
than that.
All right. If you say so, we maybe we'll find our way there. Um, here, have a couple of apples on me. And
Oh,
she hands
thanks.
you 5 apples.
I take the apples and I say, yeah, tell anybody you can. Everyone's invited.
Well, all right. Thank you very much.
And I
She kind
turn to
of
everybody and I say, yeah, so they're coming for sure.
Oh god, we're gonna need so many more kegs. Shit.
Zoltar isn't around here, huh? I bet he can party.
Oh, I mean, we're stopping by there, so we might as well invite Zoltar. We could
You might have
invite
some of your
Brenna.
crazy Feywild drugs. Hey, remember that fucking spooky hand at Zoltar's that was emanating with evil power?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
forgot
We
about
should
that
find what
completely.
that was about.
We should go invite that
We should
hand.
invite that hand.
We should invite that hand, and nothing bad will happen ever.
We could
All right.
invite Brenna from Oh, I'm gonna have to be sending so many messages, aren't I?
We can just walk
Um,
there.
that's a, that's a hike from where you
Oh,
are.
is that in Westwatch?
No, it's in Watham Wood, but it's still a
Oh,
hike.
yeah.
This place is
Was
big.
Brenna the cool druid that we met?
she was the cool druid.
Little ranger, but yes.
Close enough. Oh yeah, the Green Wardens are still probably pretty pissed at us, huh? That's funny.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Although
We
I
never
did
really.
tell Brenna that she could come to the co-op, so she might just show up one day.
That would be very fortuitous.
Yeah, that'd be wild if like the first time she shows up is at a rager. Um, I don't
All
know what
right. Well,
else. I feel
should
like
we?
all of our people that we know. Wait, Borgin. We could invite Borgin.
I mean, they're also kind of far away, right?
Yeah, they're about a day away.
Yeah, I
Like
was
they
thinking
are
about
off the
not
beaten
informing
path,
the
and
Laserhawk too. They also might be a little too far away.
Laserhawk
they
still
are
around?
half a continent away.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty far. Oh
My
well.
family's having fun downstairs without me.
You're having
We're
fun here.
laughing and laughing.
They're having fun upstairs without them.
They're like
Where are
dying
you guys
down there.
going
I don't know what
first?
it is. Um, hi, Laura. Should we say let's go to Zoltar's?
Yeah.
Sure.
On the way to like just while we're walking anywhere during this whole thing, I'm gonna be like inviting people on the street to our party.
Branwen is getting
Um,
progressively more stressed.
most respond pretty like anxiously, like they're like, "Oh, okay," at this behemoth of a being inviting them to a quote house party. But you do pick up some things along the way, as kind of like, "Please stop talking to me" gifts. You acquire 2 loaves of bread, 2 wheels of cheddar cheese, and the apples that you acquired along the way.
That's means for a grilled cheese sandwich right there.
Yeah.
Guess with all these people being invited, we need like more beer.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Zoltar's.
Right. You all head through the city toward Zoltar's shop, and you find it in its usual location. And as you open the door, you kind of feel like that sense of mystical warmth descend upon you, and you hear the familiar voice echo through the chamber. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Zol. Well, well, well. I did not think to be seeing all of you so soon. I cannot believe that you have returned with the pages of Thariel's Etheric Compendium. Tell me, tell me, tell me, what have you learned?
I mean, nothing,
And
because
he'll
we can't
kind of
read it.
appear
I'm learning how
out
to
of the
read.
corner, and his white hair is slicked back, and like kind of actually pulled into kind of a bit of a man bun. And as he goes, "You got the pages, didn't you? That's why you're here. You took the amulet, you went to the Feywild, you came back.
Yes.
And you got the pages. So you
No.
met the little critter,
Wait,
No. The little
wait,
critter.
what? No.
Sario. Legend has it
No,
he's some weird looking motherfucker.
I'm trying to find him. Yeah, he's lost. He's somewhere. I don't know.
No, we found something else though.
Oh?
I pull out the full because we found like a full book thing, right? Correct?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we found either the
Some sort.
compendium or we found missing pages of the book.
You found no missing pages of the book. You have the etheric compendium because it was given to you by Zoltar to go and find the missing pages.
We find in the ruins.
You found
Journals that were
book.
written in the same language as the compendium.
They are not written in the same language as the compendium.
Oh, I thought they were.
We found something related to it.
I also recall this, but I don't know
I
exactly.
also vaguely recall something like this.
God dang it. Ugh.
I mean, I can go
Um,
back through notes, but I don't
yeah.
believe this is the case.
Do you have
Um,
another amulet?
That was a one-time deal. Are you saying you don't have it anymore?
No, I destroyed it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I didn't need it anymore.
It sounds like you do if you're
I'm
asking me for another one.
aware.
Well, I was kind of a different person back then.
You're not making any
Um,
sense, son.
Do you not see how much more muscular he is? How well kempt his hair is? The length of
To
his
be
beard?
honest, I meet many people in this line of work, and so no, I did not notice that. Plus, I see beyond the physical. I see into your mind.
That's cool, man.
um, speaking of, I actually have some stuff that I wanted to ask you since you're so far-reaching and nonsense. Um,
Tell
you
me.
remember that cult that was going around?
Oh yeah, the cult of Hans and Daedi. I heard you guys got them good. Nice work, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, do you remember? Did you ever hear about what they were all about and stuff?
I heard they were trying
A
to.
certain she.
She. All I heard
Yes.
was from a couple of them that they were in the service of some higher power, dedicated to wreaking chaos on our world. I figured it was some arch-fae or something crazy. You know how all those fae get. They're crazy. Never heard about any she, though. Power to the women, though. Whatever they want.
Um, have you ever heard of Alari?
Lord. Alari. Alari. Haven't heard of her.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
12.
You get the sense just from his like general performative nature that he might not be 100% genuine right now.
I'm glaring at him.
I'm gonna
She's like
cast Zone
this
of Truth.
huge lady. She has wings. We found her tomb. Dunk has a cool hat that came from there.
I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. So that is a
My gosh,
wisdom
everyone
save,
has to
right?
make wisdom saving throws.
Yes. Fifth. No, it's a charisma of 15.
Ah,
Dirty.
it's unfortunate because he is very charismatic.
Rats.
17.
However, he fails,
What do we have to beat?
and a
15.
15. But he knows that you cast it. And he goes, "Now, darling, you come into my shop after weeks away. Tell me that you haven't made any progress on the thing that I gave you my most cherished and prized possession to go off and do. And you come in here asking hard questions, and when you don't get the answers that you want, you cast Zone of Truth on me? Sugar, I thought we
Who's
had
Alari?
something, and I am disappointed. Alari, she's a children's story. You never heard it when you were a kid, didn't you? Came down from the skies above. I thought
Did
I
Brandon
you.
fail
never
her
heard it,
charisma
no.
check?
Yes.
Willem is going to turn to Brandon and go, "Do you like Eliana?"
As much as she likes me. And I don't know what to do about it.
Oh, that's
This is
not.
rude. This is dirty. I
Big
hate you.
smile. He's going to turn back to Zoltar.
I not entirely hate you.
I'm familiar with Alari. She's a stuffed legend. I figured you, the pointy-eared persuasion, would know her. Ain't she like your ancestor or something?
I think that might be a little racist.
I think that would also
Because Chris,
make her
I've
all of
never
our
heard of her, right?
You have not heard of her?
No, I haven't. I've never heard of her.
Oh, well. I remember reading some old book about her. Children's story.
Did
Zoltar,
she have
what
friends?
exactly are you? Just wondering.
I'm human. As human is, as human gets. But in my line of work, you come across the finer things in life that have given me a taste for things so divine you would not understand.
Okay, I'm satisfied with this answer. Thank you for
I'm
being so
not. Like
truthful.
what?
Divine as that hand that I was kind of looking at last time.
Make a perception check.
Hey, did Alari have any friends that were like her? And the stories.
You are testing my memory. There's a bookshop in town that you should check out. The Whale Tale. They might have something that you could reflect upon, but if my memory serves, there was indeed more than one, but hard to remember.
22 on that persuasion. Or persuasion or perception?
Perception.
Perception. Yeah, that's what I meant. 22.
You do not see the hand anywhere in the shop. And at the mention of it, he kind of clams up and he goes, I'm afraid that we move stock here pretty quickly, and we might not have exactly what you're looking for in the hand department. But if you're interested in procuring a hand, I could find you one and give you a hand.
I could get you a hand.
Even better,
Of
darling,
your
I
own.
pay top price for the right hands.
Dude likes
That
hands.
is good to know.
In any of the stories, was Alari someone that, enjoyed chaos? Or was
Testing my memory.
angry or vindictive in any way?
I really don't remember any specifics, but I remember them being all happy tales about camaraderie, friendship, and working together as a community. That kind of stuff. Whole bunch of drivel, if you ask me.
Okay, cool. Should we do some shopping?
Zoltar, I had one more question before we left or did some shopping here. So we did indeed, unfortunately, lose your planar amulet. Long story short, there was
That is
heroism
most
involved.
disappointing.
Yes, very disappointing. We still want to do your job and may need to get to the Feywild for our own reasons. So, do you know any way we might be able to do that?
Like those cultists you were working with probably knew. But in
Oh,
reality, you're gonna need some mighty fine magic to get there. Someone with some intense sorcery abilities could potentially get you
hmm.
there.
I wonder if we know anybody like that. Anybody who happens to be 6'5" and super hot
And sorceress.
and sorceress.
Crazy.
Also, I am sorry, Zoltar, for destroying your amulet, even though it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. I plan to make this right, and I hope that I'll make it up to you. I promise. It might take a while though.
I mean, you can always make things up to me by finding those pages. But as your dear friend Dunk here has already discovered, I am also amenable to any sales that you might want to make to me. And speaking of sales, also, real quick, before we go any further, don't cast spells on me again, and I won't have to question the entire nature of our relationship. Anyway,
Yeah,
speaking of
spells.
sales, boy oh boy, do I have things for you. We are freshly stocked with all manner of fineries and divineries. Anything in particular that you might be looking for?
I could use some
Alternatively,
money.
instead of asking, you can explore the shop if you'd like to.
I'd love to explore the shop.
Yeah, I don't have anything in particular that I'm looking for, but
I'd like to explore as
investigate here.
well.
Okay. All of you may
I'm
make.
looking for something, but also I would like to explore.
Okay, all of you can make investigation checks.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How good am I at investigating?
So bad.
Yeah, I am.
Not good.
Horrible.
I got a
I got
flat
a 10.
2, so
Good old middle of the road. 10.
11.
Also 10.
Okay.
Look at this hungry
Um,
dog.
Dunk, you got a 17.
No, 10.
So Bramlin, Dunk, and Randy, you find a few things. Willem, the only thing that you find as you kind of scan the many shelves that piques your interest is a small leather pouch that captures your attention. It's rather dusty and leathery, and is otherwise sealed shut.
I pick it up.
Okay. Looks like an ordinary pouch for you.
What about it caught my eye? It's general
Kind
leather
of
pouchiness.
its simplicity in the pile of all manner of like mechanical and shimmering doodads.
I gotta open that pouch.
Okay, you open the pouch, and inside, you don't really see anything of note. It almost looks like balls of yarn.
I reach in the pouch.
Roll a d8.
Oh, I know. I think I know what this is. Maybe.
I think I might know what this is too. Let's see. D8 roll. That's
Pack
an
of
8.
balls.
You pull out a gray ball of yarn, and as you kind of inspect it and look at it closely, it begins to warp and mold and twitch and contort in your hand until erupting into a mammoth creature that fills the space and kind of knocks over two of the shelves. And specifically, it is the size of a giant elk, and it lets out a hearty bellow as it kind of knocks over two of the shelving units. And Zoltar goes, "What did I tell you about opening things in my shop? If
Did you
you
tell me
break
about
it, you
opening
buy it."
anything in the shop?
And it's more so just a magic shop. You shouldn't just go opening things. It
Oh,
is,
well.
you open it, you buy it.
Uh,
You're lucky I don't charge you for all those things you no doubt just broke.
I'm so sorry, sir. I will put my personal shares of my co-op's earnings towards repairing what I've have broken here. Um, if I were to buy it, does it come with the elk?
Yes. It's a it's a bag of tricks. All manner of
Oh,
creature can be summoned from there.
how long will this guy stick around for?
I think like a day.
Cool.
We should invite it to our party.
Willem is gonna go up and lift up one of its gums. Does it have human teeth?
No, it has normal teeth.
Bummer. I'm gonna pat it on the neck and say, "You can still come with me." Yeah. I'll buy the bag. Please take it up with Dunk.
Yeah, that'll be 3,000 gold.
Oh shit, that's so much. And I
What
have
is each of our share in the Bank of Dunk?
we have a cap.
The amount that Dunk has is pinned in the channel plus whatever Willem has.
And we're dividing it by
Uh,
4, I'm assuming. Question for the group. Seek. Did he? Oh no, he's not frozen. Okay.
Is he frozen or is he
so
thinking?
I think he's thinking.
so I have so do we each have 6,000?
No.
No, that's total.
Oh shit.
And then whatever you have, because I know you have an additional amount.
Yeah, so I have written in my character sheet that I have 4,847 gold, which doesn't sound right.
But as we discussed, since I haven't been tracking, you can have that.
Well, I will give that money to Zoltar.
The gray bag of tricks costs 3,000 gold.
Yep.
And as you kind of inspect the bag, you see that there are three furry balls of yarn inside the bag. And the giant elk behind you kind of nuzzles at the back of your shoulder from behind. And with every kind of movement, kind of shifts and bumps into some of the precariously stacked shelves.
Uh, y'all, me and Gregory are gonna go outside. I'll meet you when you're done shopping.
Can you fit
Okay.
through the door?
Yes, with great difficulty and coaching and coaxing, you can fit Gregory through the door.
You gotta pivot.
Branwyn, Hanwin, Randy, and Dunk, you managed to find a handful of things, specifically a potion of diminution, a potion of resistance, a potion of superior healing, and then each of you finds a handful of things that intrigue you. Um, Specifically, Dunk, you find an Inferno axe, and Branwyn, you find a a leather armor of glamour.
Oh.
As you kind of walk along, you find this kind of mannequin, kind of tossed off in the corner, which is wearing this, kind of plain looking leather armor with studs in the shoulder pads, but it kind of has this nice, almost intricate gold inlay that runs down the chest, that kind of catches your eye.
Do I find anything
Hazel
cool and
Dark.
unique, Chris?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't, in particular.
I got what I
Oh.
Hazel Tar, what's the deal with this armor?
Oh. You have a keen eye, my elvish ginger friend. You have found
Not
a
elvish.
just you have just found a resplendent piece of armor. It might look drab and dingy now, but don't worry your fiery soul. It could be whatever you want it to be. You speak the magic words once per day, and it becomes resplendent. You want a wonderful evening ball gown without sacrificing protection? The glamorous armor is here for you. You want a plate armor that shines in a golden sun. This armor is here for you. You want something trim, fitting, of a young woman out on the town? This armor is there for you. You want to impress that special man or lady in your life? This armor is there for you.
And how good does it do armor wise?
Now, if you had to put a number on it, I'd call that a +1 studded leather armor.
Pretty great. How much is that?
That'll be 5,500 gold.
How do you feel about trades?
That depends, darling. What are you offering?
I pull out Lorelei's quarterstaff. Um, and also I unpin my cloak of elven kind.
Oh, okay, hold on. Interesting, interesting. I need to spend some time attuning to this particular quarterstaff and understanding what it might be able to do. But for the cloak alone, I'm willing to knock off, say, 2,500 gold off the price, bringing you down to a
Well, the quarterstaff
3,000.
is a fey quarterstaff. If that makes sense.
Say quarterstaff, you say?
Yes.
Fine. You give me those two. I'll give you that leather armor for 2,000 gold.
What else do I have? Otherwise, can I spot 210 gold from someone?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
I mean, you
Yeah.
definitely seem to be getting hit pretty hard, and we want you to impress a certain someone. So
Yeah. I would like to not get hit anymore. Thank you, Bank Master of Dunk.
so how much was that in total?
I think you
He's
just
giving it to you for
Chris, you just said that
2,000 solid.
yeah, and I have or wait, no, it'd be 310 gold that I would need. And that would be all of my share of the Bank of Dunk.
Just yeah, like you're taking out of the shared 6,000 whatever number. Um, so I'm making a note
Yeah.
here, and I'll put it in the Discord.
Okay, so we're taking just
2,000
what, 2,000 out of.
Yep. As well as just trading in your cloak of elvenkind and
Lorelei's quarterstaff.
Lorelei's quarterstaff. All right.
Thank you, bank.
Anybody else interested in procuring anything today?
What's that? And I'm gonna point to the Inferno Axe.
Ah, a man with a keen eye. Sorry, just pulling up my notes here. And he kind of takes his hand and he pulls down the axe off of the shelf and puts it in your hand. Um, and you feel like a heat kind of burning. It's not a great axe, but you are able to detach the two of them, the axe, and kind of splits in two, and it would have two hand axes that kind of marry together around a clip. Um, and he goes, "These things catch on fire when you swing 'em, and when you hit somebody, they spread that fire to 'em, inflicting burning."
Hmm.
I'll give you the set for 1,800.
So I know it's no pages of the Compenda whatever, but I did get this from a Feywild that you might be interested in. It's got properties that I don't even know what it does. And I'm gonna pull out the teapot that I stole on the way out of the people's house in
Teapots,
the
eh?
Feywild.
Hmm. Tell you what, I'll do you one better. You give me this teapot, I'll knock a price down to 1,500, and I got a great axe that does something similar for you.
Okay,
We got ourselves a deal.
you got a
Hmm.
deal.
It's not here
Sweet.
right now. I've got it being worked on at the Forlorn Anvil. You can tell him Zoltar sent you. He'll give it to you nice.
Forlorn Anvil. All right.
Right? He kind of takes your hand and shakes, and he goes, "Now listen here, you foxy kids and kiddos. I enjoy doing business with you just as much as the next guy, but I gotta say, please, oh please, do not forget about my request. I have staked my family's great reputation upon you being able to deliver the lost pages of my family's etheric compendium, and whether or not it is my family's is none of your concern. I just need those pages. So please, should you find yourselves in the Feywild anytime soon, it will be much obliged."
Steel trap.
I have one last question that I don't know if you'll be able to help with. I pull out that magic broken fiddle. Do you know how I can get this fixed?
Magic broken fiddle, you say? Hmm. Now, to be perfectly honest, off the top of my head, I don't know anybody in this town who could fix something like that. It is quite peculiar. But if anybody did know anybody, well, shoot, you might want to check with Lizzie Blunt herself. She's the oldest person in town. She might know somebody who could fix that up for you.
Noted.
What was that name?
Lizzie Blunt.
Blunt. Okay.
Oh no.
What are you dismayed about?
Relation to Thomas Blunt?
Sure, that's his aunt.
Okay. Did I get the previous uh Does it seem like Thomas Blunt didn't really like us, potentially?
He didn't dislike you guys, but you were at like the heart of the town when a giant wolf creature tore havoc through the center square. But he did offer you a reward if you found out more information about it, which you never went to go claim. The person that you definitely got the sense did not like you was Baron Fowler, kind of the head of um, the guard of Trowood.
Brandy, you getting anything here?
Nah, I'm good.
Willem's gonna lean his head back into the store and be like, by the way, Zoltar, we're having a party tonight if you want to come.
Maybe I'll stop by, maybe I won't. I am enigmatic and never tell the truth of where I might be at a given time.
Wait, you're
Cryptid.
still under zone of truth though. Are you gonna come? Are you gonna come to the party?
Probably.
Nice.
I also
Everyone's
like that
all
they
set.
are not compelled to answer, so he could have just not answered, but he chose to anyway. Uh, good stuff.
Once we're out of
Okay.
earshot of Zoltar, I'm gonna just be like, I don't think we should have invited Zoltar.
Why
You've
not?
invited every single person that we've passed on the road.
Yeah, I don't really trust that guy.
Why not?
He just
I mean, I feel like
seems.
there's a lot of obvious things, but I
Is
just
it
want to
because
hear it.
he's enigmatic and never tells the truth about where he might be at a given time?
He did say that. He also just seems like really interested in these pages, like in a very suspicious way.
So do you think we should not fulfill our obligation?
No,
Okay.
I think we should get the pages and then steal the rest of the book from him.
Oh, I
Well,
mean, I don't
I
know. He seems like
suppose
a pretty nice guy. He gave me this, or gave me the info about the school acts.
I got Gregory.
Yeah, he loves money. We know that.
Yep.
Should we head to the Forlorn Anvil?
Sure.
All right. You all head across town and even cross through the market square to reach the Forlorn Anvil, which, as you approach, you can even kind of feel the heat spilling out of the open air location. So it's kind of like a propped up roof that extends over a large cobblestone circle of burning coals, and kind of situated beyond that, kind of tempering a blade and grinding it against a grindstone in the far corner is a very young looking individual. He's got this kind of swept back raven colored hair. Um, and he looks up at you as approach and he goes, "Welcome, welcome. Forlorn Anvil, first time buyers, never seen you around here. Something I can help you looking for." Sorry. I no, this is Nat20. It is a very handsome young man. Almost like
Wait, can you
uncharacteristically
describe them
young.
again?
Like
Because you
certain. Did
wait,
I cut out?
what do they? Who slash what are they? Because you cut out when you were describing them initially.
Oh, he is a young, like almost uncharacteristically young human male, with like windswept back raven colored hair. Um, and he's kind of like a chiseled jawline, wears a leather apron. He's kind of pushing a sword up against a grindstone as you approach. And looks almost like uncharacteristically young for the manner of blacksmith or tradesman that you've met in your time here in Yusan. He goes, "Welcome, welcome. Something I can help you find here at the Forlorn Anvil."
Yeah. Hey, my man. So I just left Zoltar's place.
Soltar. He's been spending a lot of work my way. Don't suppose you're here for the what is it? The blaze axe or something of that kind, right? He had sent
Something
it
like
down for
that.
sharpening. Yeah, I think I got it around here somewhere. Just hang tight. Let me go look for it if you don't mind.
Take your time.
And he leaves you with your own thoughts as he kind of heads inside. And make a perception check.
9.
You don't really hear anything in particular, but you hear you hear voices inside the shop, but you don't hear anything distinct. And he kind of comes back out. The blade is wrapped in canvas, but the pole arm of the great axe is kind of in his hands. You can tell it's like very tightly wound and very thick leather. And he kind of brings it over to you and gets closer to you and kind of pulls the canvas back over the blade and it kind of shimmers. It's a double bladed axe with this kind of like runes etched into the circle or the kind of circular sides of the blade that kind of give off this kind of faint ember like glow. And he goes, "This thing really packs a wallop. Uh, you know, inflict burning damage on your targets, but you seem like you know how to handle an axe, so best of luck to you." And he kind of pulls the canvas back over the blade. And he goes, "You want to treat that with grapeseed oil about every month or so, and keep the blade nice and sharp."
Do you have any grapeseed oil here?
Yeah, sure. He kind of looks around and then looks up at one of the nearby shelves and pulls it down and hands it over to you and goes, that should do you for a fair amount of time."
Awesome. How much for the oil?
Don't worry about it. Uh, just hope you remember the forlorn anvil for all your weaponry needs. He gives you kind of a kind smile. He's, for the rest of you, something I can help you with, or are you just here accompanying your friend here for his weapon
We're having a party tonight if you wanted to come.
Yeah.
party? Whereabouts?
Marigold Estate.
You're the folks that live up the Marigold. Oh, you must know my friend Scott. Good
Yeah,
lad.
Scott.
Poor
He's a nice
lad.
guy. Good
Gotti.
guy.
Yeah, he's still a bit timid, I imagine. But I'm glad he found himself somewhere where it's, the work ain't quite so poor as what he was doing. You folks are good people. Yeah, taking care of my dad tonight, but if I find the time and the freedom, I'll make my way up to you.
For sure, man. Scott's doing well. He's finding his place there.
Oh, good, good. You sure there's nothing else I can get you?
What's your name again?
Um,
I think Willem is trying to say something.
I'm
Oh,
What's his name again? Well, Willem picks his jaw up off the floor.
Uh, he has not introduced himself.
I asked him, "What's his name? What's your name?" Sorry.
Hold on. I was hoping you would take longer to ask. I have it in here.
Hello, sir. What is your name? Look at this puppy. She's like jelly.
Uh,
she's
um,
so cuddled.
he looks over and he goes, Erwin Lewis. It's a real pleasure to meet you. And your name?
I'm Branwyn, Stunk, Randy, Willem.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. Forgive me for not, assuming your names right off the bat, but once you told me you're at the Marigold Estate, I figured you were the ones that did all that fine business in Conway's Ferry. It's good to meet heroes such as yourselves. Now, forgive me,
What?
son, or friend, you were asking about something? He kind of looks over at you, Willem.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, I didn't catch your name, and I happened to be momentarily unavailable while you were saying your name.
No, no, my name's Erwin Lewis.
Oh, Erwin, yes. I am curious if you have the means, or happen to have one on hand. I need a set of full plate armor, please.
Full plate. Um, yeah, it might take you about a day. I can get your measurements here, and I can have you outfitted and then sent up to the estate. Probably don't have anything on hand that would fit your frame today, but if you could give me 10 minutes or so, I could take your measurements, get you suited up, and then get them tightened and screwed up and sent over to you tomorrow morning, if that's all right. Unless you're hoping to
That
go kill someone today.
Oh no, that'll be just fine. And also, Willem is going to proffer the Moon Touch sword and say, I have very little use for this these days, and was wondering if this might be something I could put towards my plate armor. I also have a suit
Oh,
of
sure.
chainmail that I'm not wearing right now that I won't really be needing afterwards.
Sure enough. Yeah, always happy to barter. And he kind of takes the sword from your hands and inspects it and like holds it up. This fine quality. You treated it really well. Yeah, he'd be more than happy to take this and kind of knock some off the price. And he's kind of pull out a book. Go ahead, Dunk.
I was gonna say you can also, Willem, if you'd like, you can take my +1 great axe, to go towards your armor.
Oh, do you not want that to go towards your axe?
Um, it's all in the same pot. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all out of the bank.
Yeah. I like how we're a narco syndicate like that.
Pretty soon, I will be able to read that word. I do not know it.
So if you're offering up the +1 great axe, the moon touch sword, let's see here. And the moon touch sword is a short sword, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Sure enough. Right, after if I take all this off your hands, I could probably fit and sell you some full plate armor for well, about 1900 gold.
I almost have enough to cover that on my own, and whatever I owe left will be from the Bank of Dunk. So, sounds like a deal.
Fair enough. Why don't you come in the back here? We'll get you fitted, and friends can obviously come with you or wait here. It's all the same to me. Bit cramped inside, if you don't mind.
Yep. Whatever y'all want to do.
Right.
Dunk, can I borrow like 300 gold to go buy stuff?
Absolutely. What are you looking
I can grab the groceries, guys. You don't have to worry about that.
I will need 153 gold from the Bank of Dunk. No, I will need 53 gold from the Bank of Dunk.
for? Okay, so 53.
Dunk can't read, but he can do math.
I can't do math.
He's so good at math, but he cannot read for sure.
But he's learning.
I'm learning. 300, Randy.
Sure, that should be enough.
All right.
Right. So Erwin takes you into the shop, Willem, and kind of fits you with a suit of plate armor. And it doesn't quite fit. It's a bit clanky and kind of rolls over in some places. So he just takes some finer measurements. He goes, right. I'll have this sent up to the estate by tomorrow. Is there anything else I can do for you? But while you're inside, you can go ahead and make a perception check.
22.
As he kind of fits you, you've plenty of time to scan about the room, and you note an individual kind of seated in a chair, kind of staring blankly ahead of them, not really paying much attention to you. But they look, they kind of bear a similar resemblance to Irwin, but much older.
I will turn and say, hello there.
Oh, that's just Pa. Say hello, Pa. And the man kind of rolls his head back and nods in your general direction, but does not otherwise acknowledge.
Hmm. Your father is a man of few words.
It doesn't say much, old dad. Not much to say these days.
Yeah.
All right. If you need anything else, you know where to find us at the Forlorn Anvil. But quite a pleasure doing business with you.
Oh, likewise, Erwin. I hope we wind up seeing more of each other. And you're
Likewise.
a very good son for taking care of your father like this. Just want to say I see and appreciate the work.
Mighty kind of you to say. Uh, good wishes to you, and thank you for for all you've done. It kind of sets you out on your way.
Yep.
Randy, as you kind of head back to the Trowood market to procure a handful of things, roll a d6.
I will accompany Randy, so he's not going solo.
A 1.
As you make your way across the different market stands, you manage to procure a handful of cinnamon buns, um, some raspberry and boysenberry filled pastries, and then a crate of various citrus, including lemons, limes, oranges. Um,
Beautiful.
but as you're kind of scanning around and making your way between the various stalls of the marketplace, you see a child kind of crying a little bit off in the corner.
Um, with my, I guess, a wheelbarrow of things, I put it down to the side and I approach this child and I get down, like I crouch down a little bit and go on my knees and I go, hey, kid.
Oh, hey, mister.
I know I'm
Uh,
really big, but I'm like not. I'm just a regular guy.
oh, well, I don't suppose you've seen a cat around, have you?
A cat? No.
Yeah,
Uh,
I haven't seen my cat in days.
that's
Miss,
awful.
Mr. Gibbs. I, my, my, my parents told me not to worry about him, but it's been days, and I haven't seen him or heard of him, and he never leaves the house. He's not meant for the wild.
Can you describe him for me?
I, he, he's really fluffy and
Mm-hmm.
orange, and he has this white stripe that goes down his back all the way to his tail.
Okay. And I cast a 4th level divination spell. Locate creature.
Can you describe the nature of the spell?
Describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. I don't know if that would count, but
It has become familiar to you. You now know its name and its description.
as long as the creature is within 1,000 feet of me, I know its location, and if it's moving, I know where it's going.
Okay. You manage to discern that Mr. Gibbs is very high up on the outskirts of town. And I'm assuming you kind of see in your mind's eye as you cast this spell and process the information. You kind of see him perched atop a roof on the outskirts of town that leads you to believe that he might be stuck up there or struggling to get down from such a great height.
Oh man, I
And he
know
is
where your
alive and well.
I know where your cat is. He's okay.
You, you know, uh, uh, Mister, are you like a god?
Kinda.
Oh my god. Oh my you. Uh, where is he?
Follow me. Uh, and I kind of leave my wheelbarrow of stuff with Branwyn, unless Branwyn
I'm
wants to come
staring at him
with.
like, what are you doing?
I'm finding this kid's cat.
Should I come with?
Nah, you should go buy beer.
I
We
go
gotta buy
buy
the beer
beer.
before 9 o'clock, otherwise they won't sell it to us.
Oh my god, that's true. Oh god, it's 8:30.
Roll to
Well,
So I
fantasy
will
quick trip.
say Randy and this child go off in search of Mr. Gibbs. Branwen, where are you going to get beer?
I'm going to What Ails You.
All right. You head to What Ails You and find the familiar face of Grub Torland hanging out behind the bar. And he kind of greets you gruffly. He goes, my, haven't seen you in these parts in some time. What brings you back here, lass?
Um, I guess we kind of live at the Marigold Mansion now.
Oh, I was wondering if Harvey would ever find someone to bequeath that to.
Yeah.
Glad it went to good people.
Speaking of, we're holding a party
Oh,
there, and I've come to get beer.
well, you've come to the right place. We've got plenty of kegs of all the favourites in the back if you're interested. How many will you be needing?
Um, let's make it 3.
Fair enough. You got a means to transport these, little lady? No
We
judgment.
gotta.
I'm a short man, as you know.
Oh, I'm not strong. We got a wheelbarrow out front
Uh,
Also, a
he kind
giant
of
hill.
looks. He
and
looks
a
beyond
really.
you and he goes, "Yes, I'd be happy to. Well, I could organize a drop off of kind if we've got a wagon out back we can use and
Oh
send
yeah,
you
that
with
would work
3
too.
casks.
Yeah,
Fair
and
enough.
also feel free to come to the party too.
Yeah, you're very kind. I've got a wife at home that's, she's with child, so got
Oh,
to
I was
spend some
gonna say
time with
bring the
her.
wife, but
Yeah, you're very
yeah,
kind. Listen, have been good to us. We'll say 125 gold for 3 casks more than covers it.
sounds great. I gave
You're
him
good
the
people.
money from the Bank of Dunk.
All
I'm sorry,
right.
how much? 125.
125, indeed. So you kind of head off knowing that the ale will be delivered to your house. Randy, you walk across town. It takes you a bit of time to get that far. The thing you note is that Trowood continues to expand, and that houses and buildings are being built outside of the main palisade that you've kind of come to know over the past couple of months. This particular one is 3 stories high, and you can kind of see as you're getting closer and closer to the edge of the building, a small orange critter kind of wandering back and forth on the roof of the building.
Oh yeah, there he is, Mr. Gibbs.
What if he's scared up there? How are we gonna get him down?
All right. Do you trust me, a man you've just met?
You found Mr. Gibbs for me, so I trust you with my life, sir.
All right. And I cast spectral weapon and I make a really big shield, as big as I can. And I kind of like,
Because it can be anything, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like tip
Okay.
it on its side, and I say like, hop on.
Is it big enough for you and the child?
Um,
It
I
can
guess it
be if
could
you're a
be,
cool
huh?
DM.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Okay. I'll say you can kind of place the child on your shoulders and you situate yourself and you feel kind of like a strain and almost like an ethereal groan beneath your feet
A
as you step
urethral
atop the
grow.
shield. Yep, as you step atop the shield. But it supports your weight.
And
I said ethereal.
yeah, but it'd be way funnier if you said urethral. I lift up the shield as it is a Mario moving platform. And we reach the cat, I assume.
Okay. Um, the cat is, despite seeing its owner, very nervous. So I will have you make an animal handling check and describe how you get this and coax this cat aboard the shield.
I'm gonna say Hey, buddy. Come on, cat. Meow,
He's a
meow.
good dog.
Gotta hit him with the pss, 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 pss.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little action.
Okay.
Um,
You can
I'm gonna
make
kind
an
of.
animal handling check with
I'm also,
advantage.
okay. Okay.
Had you not included the you wouldn't have gotten it.
Oh
Oh,
my god, a nat 20. If I didn't have advantage, I would have gotten a 2. So
You kind of stick your behemoth hand out and go pss, 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 pss. And come on, cat. And the little Mr. Gibbs very cautiously kind of paws his way onto the floating shield, and you gently bring yourself back down to earth. And the cat graciously leaps into the child's arms. Goes, "Gee, thanks, Mister. What can I call you?"
call me Randy.
Randy. I'll pray to you every night, Randy. And please, it's not much, but I want you to have it. And he hands you a small coin.
Is there anything special about it?
Make an investigation check.
My investigation's
this is how you
so
start a
bad.
cult.
I got
How
a
to
1.
start a cult.
It doesn't look like any ordinary coin, but it just like to your mind, it's just a knockoff coin.
I take the coin and I say, bless you, kid. You and your cat. You're going places.
Mister. All right. Are any of you doing anything in town? You kind of split up at this point, but I'll say if there's anything else you'd like to do in town.
Real quick at the end of that interaction, as the kid goes away, I go, "Hey, that was for you, Adara. That was, huh? Huh?
Blesses up.
You bless up, and are any of you doing anything else in town, or I can say that you kind of make your way back to the house and meet up there.
I can be
Yeah.
quick about it, but I need to go to the potion shop to invite Gwen to the party.
Oh,
You can
that's
take as
very
much
Your
time as you
important.
need.
gift.
All right. Are you going alone?
If other people want to come, that's fine. I'm just
Oh
inviting
no,
her
he's
to the
got to do
party
this one
here.
alone. He's got to
Yeah,
do this
no,
one alone.
this is a solo mission.
It's a solo trip.
All right. The three of you, Branwen, Randy, and Dunk, start to make your way back to the house, while Willem, you head to Marceline Moreau's shop, which is kind of in the same direction. So you inevitably just kind of break off from the rest of the group and head down to the quaint, modest little apothecary in the residential quarter of town,
Is there
and
some nice
find
flowers
it.
I can pick along the way?
Yes, but they're from people's gardens.
I'll be sneaky about it.
Make a stealth check.
7.
I'll say, given the time of day, nobody really notices. But you do get like the owners of the garden do not notice. But there are a couple of passerby who give you like kind of stern looks, like a little bit judgmental as you pass by. But nobody stops you. And inevitably, you find yourself in the waiting entrance of Marceline Moreau's apothecary. It's kind of warm, candlelit glow inside, with the same manner and number of kind of herbs hanging from the ceiling, and its casual aroma slipping out onto the street outside. And you can see from inside Gwen kind of milling about behind the counter. Have you seen her since you've been back? I assume.
I assume I've been like stopping by every day.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. We've probably
All
gone
right,
on
so
little
you,
shopping trips and held hands and sat next to the river and talked about life and things like that.
okay. So you head
They haven't
in.
had a second date
Uh,
yet, though, have they?
I am also notably going to make sure that I'm prominently wearing and displaying the lunar pendant.
okay. She sees you as she walks in, and her eyes kind of beam as they do when you walk. She goes, "Oh goodness! Such a treat to see you again. How are you today, my friend?"
Oh, your friend, huh?
"Well, I am at work, but how are you today, my love?"
Oh, well. Willem's gonna blush a little bit and he's gonna go, much better now that I've seen you, Pumper Nickel.
Pumper, you
"Oh,
barely know her.
Whoa, that's wacky.
Sorry.
Well, I could say the very same. Is there something I
Uh,
can help you with, dear?
oh, I just wanted to let you know that, the gang and I were having a little party at the house tonight, and I'd be just tickled if you would come along.
That's so sweet. I mean, I'll have to ask my father, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. Um, can I bring anything?
Oh, this might be a bit of a strange request, but Branwen's been pretty down lately, and she mentioned that at Feywild parties they sometimes take like weird drugs. And so I was just
Oh,
wondering if you had any like weird hallucinogens that I may be able to give her in like, not tonight, but like another time. That might cheer her up a little bit. Or
um,
maybe tonight. I don't
it's
know.
it's
She's a
sweet
free
of you to
woman.
want to do something. It's sweet of you to want to do something for your friend. Um, yeah, I think there's something I could bring. Um, yeah, I'll have some time between work and what time should I be there? Dusk?
Uh,
Evening?
du- Dusk sounds right. I mean, if you wanted to show up a little bit earlier, I'm sure we could use the help setting up. But otherwise, no, that's fine. Just bring yourself.
Oh, great. Well, I can't wait to see you. Um, I'll be there.
Wonderful. I'm gonna lean across the counter and give her a quick kiss on the cheek and leave the flowers on the counter.
You're so sweet. Huh, time is such a wonderful thing to be spent with you.
Oh, it's very poetic.
Um, and she will kind of give you a nod and a kiss in return, and you make your way back to the house. And by the time you all return with your heap of things that you acquired in your shopping trips, it's about mid-afternoon. Um, and you return and find Elray kind of waiting in a rocking chair on the front porch, and no one else around, at least outside, as you return to the house. So I'll say, Bramwin, you can kind of stay outside with him while the rest of the party goes inside, or stays, really, whatever you'd like to do. But Willem is about 20 minutes behind.
So did
I'll give Branwen her privacy.
Did you find your shopping trip enjoyable today, Bradman?
yeah, got more armor, so hopefully I won't get stabbed so much.
Well,
Um,
we would all love for that.
right? Um, how was the circle? Is it working?
Well, it's coming along. Um, I hope you know that any time I cast it, you are free to leverage it. The power wanes rather quickly, but I have to cast the spell once a day for it to imprint upon the space.
Yeah. It sounds like we might actually be needing it at some point.
Oh,
Not excited. Not at all. We have to go find that dude that's on the conspiracy board. Uh, uh, the one,
oh,
the Santa
Thariel.
Claus one. Yeah.
Thariel, yes.
The Santa Claus,
Yeah.
Tim Allen.
What
Yeah.
what worries you so much about returning, Bradman?
Um,
Your sister invited you back, did she not?
yeah, my
You were
sister
cast
invited me
out by
back.
Lord Erevan, but have you spoken to any other members of your family?
No. It would be bad if I did. I'm not even supposed to talk to my sister.
You've done this place a great service, Branwen. I didn't tell you about it originally, but when you're ready, I have a letter that vouches for your service here.
Mm,
If Lord
Christ.
Erevan cannot see the reason in my letter, then that is their own doing. But they cannot keep you away from your own home forever.
Oh man. Oh beans. Um. Well, see, the problem is I also don't really have much to go back to. Is the thing.
Your family is there, are they not?
Yeah, but they weren't exactly trying really hard to keep me there. So
You found quite a family here as well, I suppose.
yep, I suppose. Yeah.
There's something you're not telling me.
Hmm?
Is there something you're not telling me?
I don't think so.
I want what's best for you. And if that is going home, I'm here to support you. But if it isn't, you are welcome here as well.
Okay.
I won't trouble you. If you'd like to skip our session today, you can let me know, but I'm always happy to discuss, well, let's call them ideas that you have.
I feel like all my ideas are going nowhere right now, though, which is really annoying.
Well, what are you thinking?
Well, it's all coming back to the big purple dot she, who
Yes.
I don't think we know who she is at all.
Have you spoken to
I feel like it's
Sina about her?
no, because Cena's have been avoiding everyone.
Well, you've been through a great deal, and you can hardly blame her. But at the end of the day, we will need answers at some point. She
Yeah.
is the linchpin in all of this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll try to talk to her eventually.
Perhaps leverage your friend Randall. Sorry, Randy. And he kind of makes a concentrated effort to correct himself. He's, um, perhaps he could be of some service here. Does he
Yeah.
still claim to have fraternized with the goddess?
Yes. I heard him singing
Hmm.
My God is an Awesome God the other day.
Hmm.
I don't
That
think he
is
heard me, but he definitely was. And then
that
he
is
did like a
peculiar.
bless up. He was making eggs, and I think they turned out particularly good that day because they weren't entirely stuck to the pan.
Hmm. Yes, he's gotten better at, well, being an active, contributing member of society. Well,
Yeah.
we can skip our session today. I'll hang around here for the party, as it were. But perhaps you owe it to yourself to not work today. Take some time for
Beans.
yourself, relax, and enjoy the companion of others, the company of others. Your friends have not really gotten to know the real you. Or perhaps there is someone else you'd rather spend your time with?
Oh man. Maybe I'll just get blackout drunk.
I encourage you to make healthy choices, Brandon. But
Hey,
do
it
what
could
must be
be
done so that
healthy to
you
get
are
blackout
happy.
drunk once in a while, right?
If you are happy, I am happy.
All right. I'll make an effort. I give him a really awkward hug.
He kind of
Actually, no,
taps you on the
Brandon's
back.
good at hugs, but I feel like Elray's not.
He's not. He kind of like taps you on the back a little bit. He's always a little bit startled by you kind of like, because you're usually just standing there, and then all of a sudden you're hugging him. And he's just like,
An
ah,
outburst of
yes.
emotion.
Well, I let Lyra know. I hope that's okay. She said she would bring something.
Oh, hell yeah.
Great.
I
Well,
feel like Lyra knows how to
I'll
turn up.
I'll see you later. I'm going to take a walk about the grounds.
Okay,
And you
make a
will part
choices.
ways.
Boy.
All right. Are any of you doing anything prior to the party?
I am setting up for a bonfire. I'm
All
putting
right.
chairs out and I'm getting some wood together. I'm gonna make a fire.
All right. As you are kind of out by the fire pit setting up, you hear a faint voice behind you. As she kind of chimes in, you recognize it instantly as Cena. And she goes, "One of your fires, huh?"
Yeah. Are you joining
I
us tonight?
was, I don't know. I feel like I feel like you guys are treating everything like it's fine, and it's really not.
Oh, yeah. I put down the wood and I turn to her and I look her like right in the eye and I go, "Yeah, things are not okay.
Oh,
Everything's really bad."
so why are we pretending that it's not?
We're not pretending. We're just sometimes you got to indulge in a little bit of uh community to get yourself through these times, because otherwise, like, if we don't, have the ability to even put ourselves through it, then what's the point?
Yeah, I just I'm trying, right? I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to be present. I'm trying to live with people who, up until 2 weeks ago, wanted to. I don't know. They say they didn't want to kill me, but I can feel you guys wanted to kill me. And I mean, justifiably so. I wanted to kill all of you. Mostly you. And Branwen. I feel bad. I know. She tries so hard. But I don't know. She kind of bites her lip and she looks up and you could see that even in the kind of the setting sun, she's starting to cry a little bit. And she's, "You are everything to me. And the person you are now is not that guy." And I'm just wondering what happened to him.
Wait, me, Brett is a little bit confused by the question. What
So,
can you just say it again? I might have misheard it.
um, she said that you were everything to her, but the person here with her now is
Oh,
not the same guy she knew.
what's different?
I don't know. I mean, the one thing that hasn't, or I suppose is the biggest change, is that you came back. You left me 10 years ago, and now you're back. But when we shared that time together, you were, I don't know, you were real. You told things like it was. You treated people well, but you weren't whatever this is. She kind of gestures to your attire. Just this, "Oh, I'm going to form a community and I'm going to be this guy who's super chill and nice all the time." Where's the guy that knew how to be an asshole? Where's the guy who, I don't know, taught me how to find the right mushrooms? I just, you suddenly seem to want to be so helpful. Where was that the 10 years that Hansen had me?
I walk up to her and I put my hand on her shoulder.
He recoils just a little bit, but kind of lets you keep it there.
Okay. And say, I am so sorry for what I did, and I have not stopped thinking about it.
Every single day, every hour of my waking life, I think about what I did. I can't ever be forgiven by you or by myself. Who I don't know who I am now, but it's better than who I was before.
Let's see. I want to believe you. I do. And I'm trying. I want you to know that I'm trying. I just, it's not going to happen overnight.
I know.
Thank you for being so understanding.
Yeah. Come by tonight if you feel like it. But if you don't, I set up a little spot for you in the woods as well. If you want to go there and just chill, there's like a little bit of kindling. You can make your own little fire.
Thanks.
Yeah.
If it's okay with you, I'm just going to watch you set this up.
I turn around and continue.
All right. Anyone else doing anything prior to the party?
Pre-gaming.
Also pre-gaming.
Yeah, a
Let's
little bit of
go!
pre-gaming. Not getting too crazy, but yeah.
We're doing shots with Scott, Dinky, and Eliana.
All right. Ileana is kind of hard at work preparing a interesting concoction with the citrus that you have procured. And before
Bartender
people
Chris
start
is
to
coming out.
yeah, before people start to arrive, she's going to kind of pull over a couple of glasses and set them on the table in front of you all, like she's addressing you all. But anybody can make a perception check if they'd like.
I'll perceive.
I'm gonna perceive
Nat
with
20
disadvantage
perception.
because I'm getting drunk.
Did not perceive well.
13.
Willem, you're the only one that notices, given that you haven't had too much to drink and kind of your keen eye, that even though she's kind of presenting to all of you, she's giving special attention, but trying not to come on too strong to Branwen. Um, and she's going to have the kind of citrus concoction in front of her, and she in a pitcher, and she's kind of pouring it out across the different um, classes in front of her. She pulls out a bottle of clear kind of liquor. You're not quite sure what it is, but it is definitely liquor. And she pours just a little bit into each one, and then she kind of like fits into her vest, like inner pocket, like against her chest, and pulls out a small glass eyedropper, and she goes down the line and drops like one drop into each of them. And the kind of like clear yellow orangish drink starts to have, as the drop, this kind of clear drop hits it. Something happens where it starts to turn this kind of bright, almost bubblegum pink, and swirls about in the drink as it kind of floats around in the spinning concoction that she's created. And she drops two into yours, Bramman, and kind of looks up and smiles at you, and she's just it's like, I hope a little reminder of home. I I guess I've never been there, but I thought a little pop of color might work for you.
Willem under the table is like slamming his hand into Fenwin's thigh. Like, it's happening.
Uh, yep. Yeah, that shit was rad as hell, and I will down the drink. Or sip it.
What do you
Is it a
call
sippy drink or a downy drink?
Either. It's really up to you. It's essentially a gin and tonic with some butterfly
I got
seed oil.
teas.
What do you call one of these, Eliana?
I don't know. Neapolitan skies.
Ooh, fancy.
Is it good?
It is very good. It's very tangy and sweet. You don't get the sense that like the pink adds anything of note other than kind of flair. But at the end of the day, it is liquor and citrus, and that tastes good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
stoked for
go
the
ahead, Doug.
alcohol.
So I will say that as you all are pre-gaming, that is an opportunity for us to take a break for tonight's session, and we will resume next week with our Rager Flash Party. And we
Nothing
thank
bad's
you
gonna
all
happen at this. I
for
know it.
Nothing bad
nothing
will
bad.
ever happen to any of us ever again.
Right?
And we thank you all for tuning into another episode of Nat20Hot on a special Tuesday night edition. You can, as always, follow us along on TikTok and Instagram at Nat20Hot or visit us on the web at www.nat20hot.com. As we wrap up our final episode prior to Thanksgiving. I kind of already said this last week, but I would be remiss if I did not say it this week because it's really our Thanksgiving episode. I am so thankful for getting to do this every week, play with these four incredible human beings. We what we lack in size of followers, we make up for in a truly wonderful feeling that I have logging on every single week and playing Dungeons and Dragons with some of my closest friends. So I am very grateful to all of you, and I hope that each of you watching and right here in this room have a wonderful and very happy Thanksgiving. And stay tuned for our next stream next week.
Thank you,
Bye, everyone.
Zomboy. Thank you, Zomboy.
Thank you, Zomboy.
Thank you,
Thankful Zomboy.
Zomboy. Thankful Zomboy.